Oh, I keep forgetting about that. The time is now 7:00 p.m. and I call to order the special meeting of the Perry Township Board of Trustees for July 22nd, 2019. It is now 7:00 p.m. Ms. Girl, will you call roll, please?
Trustee Mears,
Yes.
Trustee Wynn,
Yes.
Trustee Hartshorn.
Yes.
Okay, and on our printed agenda that we were emailed, it said meeting is to discuss and then return to in-person session. So do I understand that there is a request to discuss some of this in executive session?
No.
Okay.
I believe so.
Okay, I didn't think so. I wasn't sure, just for clarification. The return to in-person session means discussing our live meetings in July.
Right. Yes.
Okay. Well, the executive order from the governor expires on June 30th. So I see no reason why we can't start gathering in the meeting room again.
Right. The key here was that I noticed that other municipalities were actually making a motion to return to in-person meetings. It may be seen as unnecessary because the guidance is ending, but I wanted to bring it up for discussion just in case we wanted to make a motion on it. We are planning to continue Zoom once we go back to in-person. And we currently have we're waiting on some financial stuff to shake out with the card to be able to acquire that licensing. So, but in the meantime, we're still covered. We'll use the licensing I have and we'll be good. So do we want to make a motion?
Sure. I'll make a motion that as of July 1st, 2021, we return to in-person meetings as well as having Zoom meetings for the duration of our year and however long it lasts.
I'll second.
Trustee Hartshorn,
Yes.
Trustee Wynn,
Yes.
Trustee Mears.
Yes.
And just for clarification, while we are not requiring that anyone wear masks during the meeting and we are not requiring social distancing, anyone who chooses to do so is still welcome.
The one thing that we will have to do is the meeting room needs to be straightened up. Seats need to be laid back out. And we need to make sure that when we set that up, I'm going to make sure that there's an aisle in the middle of the seats for the tripod until we can get a camera installed on the back wall. We'll just have to make sure that people don't trip over it. I don't know. Do we have any of the black rugs, like the weighted rugs or whatever, runners or anything?
I don't think we have any extra, but over at the maintenance building, there's a whole bunch of that extra plastic conduit tubing.
That would be useful. I mean, just something to cover the cable, because I pick the cable up when I take it down, but making sure that I don't want a cable there that people could trip over.
If there's a rug there, we can always move that rug and put it back when we get
Okay. Yeah, as long as we have something to put there, I think it'll be fine. So yeah, I'll be in over the weekend. If anyone starts moving seats around and whatnot, we'll take care of that. The police are storing a lot of stuff in that room as well, so we're gonna have to make sure that they should have plenty of time to get that cleaned out. So
okay, I will be in doing office hours tomorrow, and there's a lot of health food stuff that has been offered to us and donated. If anybody wants to stop up and help yourselves to some of it, you're welcome to it. I've taken my fill, and whoever needs it, wants it, it's there. But I think we need to find a home for that too.
Yep.
So okay, then we'll see everyone live then in July. Moving on, Ms. Grill, you have some budgetary issues that we need to discuss.
Yes, in paying the bills, we have found, traveling clerk and I both have found that the allocation, the appropriation that was set up for the rents and leases from the general fund is not sufficient to cover the lease that we currently carry with US Bank Corp for the Konica copier that's there at the Township building. Currently, our contract on that is $255.85 a month, and that has been being split between the general fund and the police department. When I look at the appropriation account, it was established on January 4th with a balance of $800. So of course, if we're paying $127.92 out of the general fund each month, $800 is not going to last us through the year. So I also went back and looked to see how it was handled in 2020. And it looks like the account was established on January 1st of 2020 with an appropriated amount of $1,500. And at the end of the year had a remaining $800. So I'm assuming that they just brought forward what had been carried over from last year with no additional. Also with last year's, they were splitting the cost. It was coming 50% from the police budget, 25% from the general, and 25% from the trash and refuge. In January, it went to where it was being taken 50% police, 50% general. Out of that appropriation account too, we also pay our lockbox fee. So as of paying May's lease payment, we have $92.90 left available in that appropriation account to pay bills from. So if we're going to continue to pay it 50% police, 50% general, we're going to need at least an additional $675 added into that appropriation. And that's not going to factor in if we have any overages.
Jason and Missy, I don't recall ever voting to change any of that from the to fund do that, right? That was an arbitrary.
No, I was never aware of that.
No, I don't recall a specific conversation on that. I'm sure that was just a holdover of the previous years, how it was split. I did notice that in the trash, there is an additional expenses or other expenses line that's like $1,200 and something. I wasn't sure if that was earmarked for that previously or what that's earmarked for.
I think that's one of the items we had in question because nobody seems to know what those expenses are.
Right.
And where the money went. There's apparently no accountability of where that was spent or on what those were.
So we basically need a warrant to add the additional funds from the general fund into there, and make sure that the police fund has that amount, to the 50% from them for the other half of that for the year. And then, does that sound accurate, Charity?
Yeah, there's plenty of funds in the police department side. It's just the general fund side that we've depleted.
Right.
I would suggest that we go back to the way it was, where we took the 25 for the general and 25 for the zoning, because I know Karen, or the trash, or which
Right.
one, because I know she uses a copier an awful lot too for that stuff.
And I can work with traveling clerk Pranger to reallocate the previous bills that have been done, if that's what you guys want to do as well.
Just keep an eye on, I believe his services end on the 25th.
That's correct.
Okay.
But I can actually, I can call him during the day because he's actually on the helpline too and get
Yeah.
additional assistance that way. We've actually done a few things that way so that it's not as burdensome on the township budget for his hours that we have to pay out.
Okay, good. Yeah, I absolutely suggest we go back to the way it was because I never knew it wasn't that way. I thought we were still doing 50, 25, 25. I had no idea that it had ever been changed.
Well, when I look back, it was actually, December's payment never got made. It was paid in January. And at that time, our general budget was only hit for the $127, but the police budget was actually hit for $460 some to make up the 2 months worth of bills.
And we're not currently in arrears on a month.
No,
Okay.
right now, June is due. That's why I'm coming to you guys to figure out how we want to do this and proceed so that we can make sure that gets paid.
Yeah, get with Tony and if you get the warrant printed out, we'll come up and sign it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there anything else on that topic?
I don't believe so. I think that covers everything, at least for right now.
Were we able to gain access to that lockbox?
I have not been to the lockbox yet. As far as I know, we should, because I believe everybody has signed the new signature card. And Karen found a key in the lockbox in her office. There should be 2 keys. I'm not sure where the second one is. We've only found the one.
Jason,
we-
you might- go ahead.
I was just gonna say trustee and Ms. Grill should go and just check that.
Well, I was gonna suggest maybe you go up and check and see if there is anything that needs to be electronically scanned for prosperity or, I mean, we have no idea what's in that box. There may
Right.
be some documents that need saved other than just on paper.
I can do that. You're muted.
Was there something else?
No, you were muted. You were. I saw your lips moving, but you were muted. So
I'm sorry. I guess when I unmute, it's taking a minute. So moving on to the auditor's certification. And Charity, can you clarify, this is not the audit that Sylvia did, correct?
No, this is the auditor certification that we need to request in order for us to proceed to the next phases of getting a levy on the ballot for the fire and EMS services.
Okay, just wanted to make sure that that was. So what do we need to do to make that happen?
Okay, so resolution 2152 is a resolution requesting that Montgomery County Auditor's Office certify to Perry Township the total current tax valuation of Perry Township and the dollar amount of revenue that would be generated by an additional fire and EMS levy. A 2.5 mil levy for a continuous period of time beginning tax year 2021, collection in 2022 to provide capital improvement funding for fire and EMS services as authorized in the ORC section 5705.19I to be voted on the November 2nd, 2021 general election ballot. We have to get this certification from the auditor's office. As the next step, the certification has to go with another resolution that has to be submitted to the Board of Elections in order for us to be able to put the levy on in November. And this has to be voted on and accepted by the trustees for me to process the request for the auditor's certification.
Okay, the only question I have, Charity, is it says for a continuous period of time. What's that definition, please?
This one is going to be similar to the other levy that we already have in place. It's just going to be a continuous until we change it.
Okay. Gotcha.
Because that's an expense that's not going to go away. I mean,
Right.
they're going to continuously have to get new equipment and that kind of stuff. It's just, it is linked to where it's a capital improvement only. So they can't use it for rents. They can't use it for salaries. It can only be used to purchase new equipment.
Okay.
Would either of you like to make the motion to accept the resolution?
I'll make a motion to accept the resolution as read.
Second.
Trustee Mears,
Yes.
trustee Hartshorn,
Yes.
trustee Wynn.
Yes. So that is what we had on our agenda for the evening. Trustee Mears or trustee Hartshorn, did you have anything else?
Do not.
Okay, fiscal officer Grill, did you have anything else?
I do not.
Okay. At this time, are there any residents, citizens who have anything that you would like to address at this meeting?
Ms. Bertelson has her hand raised.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know how to put this to you, except that I heard a rumor that had me quite upset, and so I'm just going to ask you. I heard that the remains of 3 people were found in the maintenance building after the former head of the road crew left, and that some of the former trustees, going years back, not Missy, before Missy, knew about it. And I heard that lots had been double sold. And I just want to know, where did the money go and what has been done to rectify this? Are the families, have they been notified? Have they been helped?
That is not untrue. At this time, that situation has been remedied. We do not know how long the cremains had been in the maintenance building, but we have been told by previous employees that they were there for some time and that there was knowledge that they were there. When Randy took over as supervisor, he spent countless hours tracking down the descendants and family of each one of the people. He expressed, every apology we could. Most of the folks no longer have relatives in the area or had living relatives, but all 3 have had proper burials. All 3 situations at this time have been rectified. We don't know exactly if any plots have been double sold. It's something that is being looked into. We are working on updating our cemetery records currently. And at this point in time, moving forward, we are going with more detailed records, and we've had no other questions that have not been answered or no other situations that have not been resolved.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. It just upset me. Thank you.
For what it's worth, it was very upsetting to the three of us as well.
Yes. Does anyone else have any comments, questions? All right. Well, with no one raising their hand, I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
I'll second.
Trustee Wynn,
Yes.
trustee Hartshorn,
Yes.
trustee Mears.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody. We'll see you either live or on Zoom in July.